Today we are going to talk about spiritual bypassing in a very particular way. And please stay till the end so that you can understand what to do when you spiritually bypass and how to raise your vibration and your frequency by paying attention to spiritual bypassing. So hi, I'm Melissa Feick. I'm founder of the Spiritual Expansion Academy. And what prompted this little video here was a email. I received an email from a new client, I believe, and they said that I am negative and that I'm negative and we should only have love and light. And this person, she said, I also understand, and I know you understand vibration, but we shouldn't be messing with the higher frequencies and the higher entities that are helping us by any negativity. And anyone who knows me knows that I really do believe in positive frequencies, positive vibration, and also to really be accountable for who you are. On the other hand, I also recognize that we are humans and that you're human. You're having a human experience. And I believe that one of the hurtful things that spiritual people do is say you should only be love and light. Now, if you want to raise your frequencies, you have to do certain things to raise your frequency. But if you have old stuck anger, old stuck abuse sitting in your physical, mental, emotional bodies, there's no way you're going to be able to raise your frequency. And I find too many people are bypassing their emotions because you're supposed to be spiritual and spiritual people are only nice and love light, da 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 da. But if you're sad, what's wrong with being sad? Now, if you're sad for 6 months, that's when you need to work on it. If something difficult happens to a family member or someone I love dearly, I'm going to be a little sad. I may even cry, but I'm not going to hold that frequency in my energy system because I've worked through a lot of my old stuff. So have many of my clients. When I work one-on-one with people, I'm looking for the places that they are denying within themselves, their shadow part or their lower energies or frequencies, old traumas, mental, emotional stuff. And the reason is because you cannot raise your frequency if you are holding on to those lower energies, and people have no idea they have it. I've worked with too many people, thousands of people, and they really don't recognize their lower energies. Now, this person told me that I am not holding a higher frequency by acknowledging that sometimes people have fear, acknowledging that sometimes people are sad or feel stuck in their life. And the particular email that I had sent out was all about receiving, about giving and receiving. Because I find that spiritual people and light workers, they're great, really good at giving. Giving is not an issue for spiritual people, but receiving is. And I believe in the law of energy of giving and receiving, of opening up that flow of energy. Now, you're not going to be able to receive if you're holding lower frequencies in your body. You're just not. Now, the other thing is I don't believe in spiritual bypassing. It's something that I talk about a lot because when we spiritually bypass, we deny how we really feel inside. In other words, a spiritual person will say, look, I'm only supposed to have love and light, so I can't be upset about that person. But then they go and complain about things, or they feel like their stomach starts hurting, or their business or their life starts to fall apart because it's old crap that they haven't worked on. And they're bypassing it, saying, well, I should only feel love, I should only feel light, which I agree. The higher frequencies are, the higher states of consciousness, the higher states of frequencies, that's definitely where we are headed. I 100% agree. But you can't reach a higher state of consciousness if underneath it all, you're still feeling unworthy, you're still feeling fearful, or you're still angry at someone or something. I believe that denying your feelings is actually a spiritual bypass, and going that you only feel love and light. And maybe this person, maybe she has ascended. That's awesome. Like maybe they don't have any lower frequencies and they have ascended and they have raised their frequency beyond anybody else. Cool. I mean, I think that's great. I'd love to talk to them about that. But their judgment of my email doesn't sound that way. And that's just my perspective. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, because I don't believe in right or wrong. I only believe in perspectives. Um, but I do believe that that person was judging my email and they were seeing it one way. And maybe, I'm not saying they were, but maybe they were projecting their own inner shadow self onto me, possibly. Now, what they said was, I do not care about your business. Only light, love, and peace is what I expect from you. So, in other words, they're saying you should deny that sometimes people feel fear. And anybody who knows me, I won't do that, because if you're sad, I'm going to give you a hug and I'm going to say, I acknowledge that you're sad. I acknowledge that you're angry. I acknowledge that you feel stuck. And if you're working one-on-one with me, I will certainly say to you, well, let's work on that. Because I know, I've seen this with thousands of people. If you go in there, work on those lower frequencies and transcend and transmute those lower energies, then you're going to raise your frequency. And I want you to raise your frequency. I want you to create the life that you desire. I want you to attract the things that are going to make you feel more in love with life, happier, more, on purpose. But if you deny or spiritually bypass your lower energies, that's not going to happen. You can say all day long, and I've watched this with many people, and honestly, just as a joke, and this isn't a diss on angel people, because I have been one, I'm an angel person myself. Um, oh, everything's love and light, everything's love and light, I'm only spiritual, and I only see love and light, and then I'm complaining about my boss. Well, that's not exactly what you're saying. I believe you should walk your walk and talk your talk. So honestly, I'm going to be authentic with you. There are times that I feel a little sad. And when I feel sad, what do? I don't sit in the sadness. I don't get angry about it. I go inside and I say, okay, I acknowledge I feel sad. So what's really going on? Oh yeah, I'm definitely sad because, this situation happened and I feel a little sad, and it's okay that I feel sad. And then all of a sudden the energy's not there and I'm opened up and I'm back in my higher frequency. Now, I'm not going to deny any feelings for myself or others, because that's spiritually bypassing. And I also believe that it's mean to deny other people's feelings. So I've actually heard people say, well, you really shouldn't feel that way. You shouldn't really feel that way about that situation. Well, that's not very nice, because how do you know how I should feel? You're bypassing my feeling. You're denying how that person feels. And when you do that, you're actually trying to control their life, their feelings. Now, this person who sent this email to me, and I'm actually excited that they sent it to me. I did not take it personally, but I'm an empath. I felt the energy and it felt pretty negative. And again, that's just my perspective. And I could feel this energy of, don't mess with any lower energies at all. I'm afraid of any lower frequencies. So if you say the word fear, you're actually attracting that energy. I disagree. Now, if you hold the energy of fear consistently, yes, you're attracting it. I agree with that. But if you're denying it within yourself, oh baby, you are so attracting it. No question, because you're denying it. It's your shadow, right? So, I understand and I get it. And I am, if you know me, if you've taken classes with me, I'm a pretty positive person, and I definitely believe in what I say. Higher your frequency, transcend the lower energies. I believe in that. but we are humans having a human experience. But I don't want you to deny your feelings, deny how you feel. I've worked with a couple clients recently, and I've worked with them on hating their mother. And that's hard for people because they're like, well, my mom was really good, and they're like, I don't want to like say the truth. But when they acknowledge it, wow, the energy that's moved out of their energy field is substantial. Substantial. And it's not that they hated their mother in every aspect, but they held this inner anger and hatred toward their mother, and they denied it, and they pushed it down, and they created this box because they couldn't admit. And once they admitted it, it transcended and moved through, and they can hold a higher frequency because of that. I'm not going to deny that that person didn't have that feeling. So you have to understand, I want to be realistic with people. I'm not going to send you an email that only says, only love and light, only love and light. What I'm going to say is, dude, if you feel anger, let's work on it. Honey, I love you very much, but if you are sad, look at your sadness. Don't deny it. Don't pretend it's not there, because then you're really not walking your walk and talking your talk. Now, I want to just address one other thing. With spiritual bypassing, it's not that you're attracting lower frequencies to you. When you go in and you work through and you transcend and transmute those lower frequencies, on the contrary, for the many, many years, I have done some emotional, deep emotional pattern work with people, not belief work, pattern work with people. I can tell you right now, when you transcend and transmute those lower frequencies, 100% you raise your vibration more than pretending that you're love and light and that you only hold a higher frequency, because then you're denying something that's stuck inside of you. Now, again, maybe somebody has ascended, maybe they're only in a higher frequency and they don't feel those things. But I have a feeling that if somebody is sending me this email, and I will actually post the highlights of that email below. And I'll also post what I wrote, the actual email that I sent this person, because I actually felt that email was super positive. Because I was talking about, like, dude, just because you feel stuck, you can receive. You don't want to block the energy of giving and receiving, right? So that's what I was talking about in the email. But because I used the words fear and stuck, I have a feeling that they thought that was negative. So I understand that people want to be love and light, and I acknowledge that. I also acknowledge that we should never deny or spiritually bypass anything that's going on underneath, because it will only show up in illness and disappointment in your life, in difficult relationships. That's where that shows up. In substance abuse, it shows up that way. Now, again, I believe walk your walk, talk your talk. And I've worked through some of my own things because I want to hold a higher frequency. I want to help others create the life they desire. So I'm going to leave you with this. Pay attention to your own spiritual bypassing. Pay attention to when you project your shadow onto others. That will give you a good clue of where you are and what you need to do. And also, if someone ever says anything negative to you, and you take it personally, and it hurts you in any way, work on it. Because it's your issue, not the person who projected that onto you. Now, their thing is their thing, but if it affects you, if you feel triggered by it, then it's your thing that you need to look at, because that is going to be what's going to help you not spiritually bypass. Because too many people spiritually bypass. I see it too much in the spiritual community. And then they're coming to me. I've been doing spiritual work for 10, 15, 20 years, and I don't understand why my life has fallen apart, or why nothing is working in my life and hasn't for 20 years. Because they're reading the books, but they're not doing the inner work. And we're here to transcend those karmic patterns that we came here to transcend. You can't transcend them by, oh, this is what I say. You can't have a pile of dog poop and get a sticky note and do a little pretty heart on it and draw a little rose on it and stick it on the dog poop and say, oh, now it smells delicious and is full of love. Because underneath that, it's still dog poop. Sorry, it still is. So if you're only trying to stick positive things on top of your crap, then you're only going to get crap seeping through. If you want to transcend and transmute, don't spiritually bypass. Pay attention to your feelings, to your thoughts, to your energy. And then be present with that. Pay attention to that. And then transcend and transmute that to hold a higher frequency. Because to hold a higher frequency, you have to do that. So I send you so much love and light and beauty and grace, and receive beautiful things in your life. You deserve it. Much love.